This whole Jeffrey Epstein cover-up is crazy, and honestly, I have no idea what's going on behind the scenes. I can't even comment on the case itself because I am clueless, but I am an expert in one area. I happen to be a professional editor and I use Adobe Premiere, and the #1 news story on every single website right now is that the footage that the White House released of the jail cell that Jeffrey Epstein was in right before he killed himself, that footage was doctored, because if you look at the metadata, you can tell that it was edited in Adobe Premiere and it was not the raw footage that they promised us. Well, I use Adobe Premiere almost every single day, and not only that, I have also edited security footage using Adobe Premiere, and I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that all of these headlines are very misleading. First of all, watch this clip of Dan Bongino talking about this footage that he would release very soon.
There's video. We are working on cleaning it up to make sure you have an enhanced, and we're going to give the original so you don't think there were any shenanigans.
Now, to the average person, that may sound suspicious. How are you going to give me raw footage, but you also need to doctor and edit it? That doesn't make any sense. Well, here's what the average person doesn't know, and here's what I haven't seen any news website actually talk about. To cut down on the file size of video that's literally being recorded 24/7 for years, many of these security cameras record in a proprietary format that you could never play back on normal software. Not only that, but because they're running forever, the files aren't infinitely large. The files have to stop every X amount of minutes. I don't know if it's every 10 minutes or every 10 hours, but every security system that I've ever dealt with creates individual video files based on a certain amount of time. Now, if you just want to play back the footage, you have the hardware to do it right there. But if you want to share the footage, you usually have to open up their proprietary software and you have to export each one of those video clips one by one. I know the software that I used in the past did not allow me to merge multiple clips. I could just export individual clips, and then I had to drop them in Premiere to make them one long video file. The other thing that people are suspicious of is this one missing minute. It was supposed to be a full 24-hour clip, but apparently there's 1 minute missing in the footage. Pam Bondi says that this camera apparently loses 1 minute every 24 hours based on the way the camera resets or something like that. I haven't run into that problem personally with the security cameras that I've used, but I will tell you that I have never in my life used a security system where I thought, wow, this hardware and software works perfectly. They did a great job making this. Every time I use any security system, it is an absolute nightmare, and there are glitches and missing clips, and it just never works correctly. So that actually also sounds somewhat plausible to me. Now, I didn't make this video to say that I am 100% sure that the footage isn't doctored, and they're not lying at all, and Epstein was probably a really great guy. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying that based on my history actually trying to edit this footage, it's much more plausible in my mind that they were literally getting multiple clips that the average person would have no way to view, and they were just putting it in a simple single file that the entire world could easily watch. That being said, I personally have never found what went on in that jail to be the interesting part of this story. There is so much more shady stuff going on, and I don't care if he did it or somebody else came in there and did it to him. That is like the most unimportant aspect of this entire case, and I am excited to learn more as it comes, but as I said at the beginning, I don't know anything about that, so I'm not going to comment on it. Now, if you want to be like me and become a professional security camera editor, head over to fstoppers.com/store. Our summer sale is going on for another week or two, and then it's done for this year. We have the lowest prices of the entire year on every single one of our tutorials. We have tutorials on videography, editing, and still photography, so many different genres. Again, check it out at fstoppers.com/store.